Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet have introduced a new battling mechanic, Terrastallization. The Terrastal phenomenon is a way to really let your Pokemon shine in battle. Once per battle, you can choose a Pokemon to Terrastallize, which will stay Terrastallized until the end of the battle. With 18 different Terra types to choose from, there's lots of different combinations and strategies for you to play around with. A Pokemon's Terra type will change its offensive and defensive capabilities once Terrastallized. For offense, a Pokemon will maintain the same type attack bonuses that it has from its original typing, but will gain an additional same type attack bonus for any moves that match its Terra type if the Terra type is different than its original typing. If the Terra type is the same as a Pokemon's original typing, then that Pokemon will get an additional boost to its same type attack bonus. Having a Terra type that is the same as one of your Pokemon's original typings is a great way to dish out devastating damage, and using a different Terra type can add even more offensive coverage to your team. Defensively, Pokemon will lose their original typing and become their Terra type, which can grant them different resists, utility, and potential damage immunities. When looking at good defensive Terra type options, you're looking for a type that will help keep a Pokemon on the field to either deal damage or help set up for the endgame. So, how do you decide on a Terra type? For powerhouse offensive Pokemon, it's usually pretty easy, whichever type you want to do the most damage. An offensive ground-type Pokemon like Garchomp can benefit from a ground Terra type to dish out even more damage with its already devastating earthquakes. Meowscarada is another great example that would love a grass-type Terra for extra impactful flower tricks. Defensive Terra types can be a bit more difficult to decide upon. Oftentimes when you're looking for a defensive Terra type, you're considering whether it's for changing a Pokemon's defenses or providing utility that it otherwise wouldn't have through its original typing. If you want to maximize a Pokemon's staying power with a defensive Terra type, a key strategy is to choose a Terra type that resists the Pokemon's original type weaknesses. Take Grimmsnarl for example. Grimmsnarl is weak to Poison, Steel, and Fairy as a dual-type Dark and Fairy Pokemon. By giving it a Steel Terra type, Grimmsnarl gains resistances to both Steel and Fairy, and also an immunity to Poison upon Terrastallizing. Keep in mind that some Pokemon abilities like Levitate or Storm Drain can make a defensive Terra type even stronger. Since Terrastallized Pokemon don't lose access to their abilities, Rotom can safely Terrastallize into a pure electric type without a worry of a super effective ground type attack thanks to its Levitate ability. Some defensive Terra types provide nice added bonuses on top of their resistances or immunities as well. For example, a Grass Terra type is good for its 4 resistances, but when that Pokemon Terrastallizes, it also gains immunity to powder moves such as Spore and Sleep Powder. A Ghost Terra type, on the other hand, is common for support Pokemon who want to avoid the effects of normal type moves, like Fake Out. A Dark Terra type is also common because Dark type Pokemon are immune to moves with increased priority from a Pokemon with the Prankster ability. Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet also get access to a new move called Terra Blast. Terra Blast starts as a normal type special attack with 80 base power, but once a Pokemon Terrastallizes, it becomes the same damage type as their Terra type. Not only that, but Terra Blast will also change to be either a physical or special attack depending on which stat is higher. This move gives Pokemon the option to have coverage in any type, but you have to invest in a particular Terra type as well as Terrastallizing to unlock Terra Blast's true potential. Most Pokemon have access to moves that might be more beneficial to their movesets, but if there's room for Terra Blast, it can provide great value to help shore up a lack of coverage on your team. Pokemon in Paldea will be caught or hatched from an egg with a Terra type that matches their original typing. You can change your Pokemon's Terra type by trading 50 Terra Shards of the desired Terra type to the chef at the Sushi Bar and Medali's Treasure Eatery. Terra Shards can also be found as item drops around Paldea, but you can also acquire them by participating in raids. Raids are a great way of finding Pokemon that have unique Terra types as well. Terrastallization allows for a lot of different Pokemon possibilities. Want more tips on utilizing Terra types? Stay tuned for more competitive VGC matches to see how top trainers are evolving their strategies with the Terrastal phenomenon.